second.
In this video, we're going to talk about finding the domain and range of a function. Function notation. Domain, or the x values, are set of all inputs, while the range is a set of all outputs. We can also say that y is a function of x, or y is equal to f of x. The notation f of x does not mean f should be multiplied by x. In other words, f of x denotes the y value or the range that the function f pairs with the value of the domain. Thus, f of 1 denotes the value of y at x is equals to 1. Function notation. So we are going to substitute the given value for f of x in the given equation, 8x squared minus 2x minus 3. So first on our list is f of 0 is equals to 8x squared minus 2x minus 3. Just substitute 0 in our x variable. So we have here 8 multiply to 0 raised to 2 minus 2 multiply to 0 minus 3. So 8, we have 0 raised to 2 is still 0 minus 0 minus 3. And we all know any number multiplied to 0 will become 0. So we have here 0 minus 0 minus 3. And f of 0 is equals to negative 3. Let's have the second one. If we have f of 8 equals to 8x squared minus 2x minus 3. So let's replace variable x with 8. So we have 8 multiplied to 8 squared minus 2 times 8 minus 3. So 8, if we have 8 raised to 2, the answer is 64 minus 16 minus 3. So we have here 8 times 64, it is 512. And if we're going to combine the negative numbers, it is negative 19. If we're going to subtract 512 and 19, f of 8 will be 493. And for the last one, if we have f of negative 2, and we are going to substitute it to the given 8x squared minus 2x minus 3. So let's replace variable x with negative 2. So we have 8 multiplied to negative 2 squared minus 2 multiplied to negative 2 minus 3. So 8, if we have negative 2 raised to 2, negative 2 times negative 2, we have positive 4. Negative 2 multiplied to negative 2, we have positive 4 minus 3. Then 8 times 4, it is 32 plus 4 minus 3. And if we're going to solve 32 plus 4 minus 3, we have 36 minus 3, and the answer is 33. And that is the value if it is f of negative 2. Just substitute the given value for f of x to the given equation. Domain and range of a function. Domain. The domain of the function is the set of all x values, or the independent variables, or also known as the input, while the range, these are the set of all y values, the dependent variable, or also known as the output. Graphing notation. In graphing a function and in dealing with domain and range, we have three different types on how to read a certain graph. First is that we use an open or hollow circle as the endpoints of the line, which means it does not include the point. So in other words, we can use a greater than symbol or a less than symbol pag open and hollow circle. Next on our list is that we use a closed or shaded circle, which means it does include the point, kasama ang point. So the symbol that we're going to use can be a greater than or equal to symbol and a less than or and equal to symbol. And lastly, there's a graph that uses the traditional way, a two arrowheads, which means it keeps going that direction endlessly or infinite. Ito na yung sinasabi natin, it is an element of real numbers, kung saan lahat ng numbers ay parehas depending on the graph, or dito rin papasok si negative infinity and positive infinity. If we are asked to find the domain and range, these are the symbols that we can encounter by just simply looking on our graph. Okay, let's have this example. We are asked to find the domain and range of the given graph. So as you can see, we have here a slant graph which has two arrowheads. Ibig sabihin, endlessly going up and endlessly going down. If we are talking on the range and the domain, ito yung x values. Tingin tayo sa x-axis, sa pahigang number line. Ibig sabihin, kung ang arrowhead na ito ay continuous, lahat ng positive values ni x ay matatamaan. At ito rin going down or looking downwards, lahat din ng negative values ni x ay matatamaan. Sa madaling salita, ang domain natin is x such that x is an element of real numbers. Ibig sabihin, lahat ng numero, mapa-positive man or mapa-negative man. Then, tingin naman tayo sa range. Range, focus tayo sa y values or sa y-axis. Ito siya, f of x or also known as the y. Tulad doon sa graph, sabi nga, going up, two arrowheads, continuous, infinite, lahat ng positive values ng y ay matatamaan din. At the same time, ito naman ay going down, ibig sabihin lahat ng negative values ni y ay matatamaan din. So the range would be r is equal to y such that y is an element of real numbers. Lahat ng positive at negative numbers ay pwedeng mahagip at pwedeng matamaan, pwedeng maging values dahil ang ginamit natin ay two arrowheads. Ibig sabihin, endlessly o infinite. Let's have this example. We are asked to find the domain and range. And as you can see, we are using two endpoints or close or shaded points. Sabi dito, tingin muna tayo sa values ni x. What are the possible values of x? Ang x o domain, tingin tayo sa x-axis sa pahigang number line. Ito yung unang point. So, kung sa x-axis ang focus, ito ay nakatapat sa positive 3. At yung isa namang endpoint, ito ay nakatapat sa negative 4. So, what are the possible values of x? It should be negative 4 and 3. The question is, ano ba ang mas mababa? Negative 4 or positive 3? So, sa una, sulat natin yung mas mababa. Nandiyan si negative 4, tapos to be followed by positive 3. So, the domain, x, is greater than or equal to negative 4. Ibig sabihin, pwedeng negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, positive 1, positive 2. Pero sabi, may another restriction, but less than or equal to positive 3. Ibig sabihin, hanggang 3 lang. Kung mapapansin mo, dahil shaded ang endpoints na ginamit, ang ginamit natin ay ang mga symbol na greater than or equal to at less than or equal to. So the domain is x is greater than or equal to negative 4 but less than or equal to positive 3. This time, let's focus on the range or the values of y. Okay, tingin naman tayo sa y o sa y-axis. Ganun pa rin ang symbol na gagamitin natin dahil shaded region naman. So itong upper point ay tumapat siya sa positive 4. At ito namang lowest point ay tumapat naman siya sa negative 3. So the possible values of y are negative 3 and positive 4. Ganun pa rin, yung mababa ang nasa unahan. So nandiyan si negative 3 to be followed by the highest value or higher value which is positive 4. Sabi dito, the value of y is greater than or equal to negative 3. It can be negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, but less than or equal to positive 4. That's how we look for the domain and range of a graph. Let's have another example. Okay, this time, as you can see, we use two endpoints. We have a shaded region and a hollow or open circle. Focus muna tayo ulit sa domain, x-axis. Tignan natin. So sabi dito, ang shaded, ito siya, nakatapat siya kay negative 5 at si hollow ay nakatapat sa positive 1. So the possible values of x are negative 1 and positive 1. So in this case, mas mababa si negative 5. So nandiyan siya sa unahan. Then followed by positive 1. Sabi nga dito, if we're going to read the domain, x is greater than or equal to negative 5. Pwedeng kasama si negative 5 dahil shaded, negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1. Sabi dito, but less than positive 1. Hindi kasama si positive 1 dahil hollow circle, hanggang 0 lang ang given o ang value. So the values of x are negative 5, negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, and 0. Kasi dito sa condition natin, x is greater than negative 5 but less than positive 1. Now, let's look for the range. Values of y, tingin naman tayo sa y-axis. Shaded region, positive 5. Hollow, positive 1. So, 5 and 1. Obviously, mas mababa si 1. At mas mataas si positive 5. Okay, as you can see, based on our answer, y is greater than positive 1. Ibig sabihin, mas mataas kay positive 1. So, it will be positive 2, positive 3, positive 4, but less than or equal to positive 5. At kasama pa rin si positive 5. So the values of the range are just 2, 3, 4, and 5. Because our answer is y is less than, y is greater than positive 1, but less than or equal to positive 5. And for And that's how we read graphs, and that's how we find domain and range of a function by just simply looking on their graphs. I am Teacher H saying stay humble, work hard, and be kind. God bless us all and stay safe.